So you'll notice when I did this, I drew that line to section off a square of the paper, but my eyes actually leave that top part there. So I'm going to add some details. I'm going to say, okay, well, maybe there's going to be some eyelids. So I'm going to put that shape on there coming off the line. So later I would actually cut this out when it's all dry. I'm going to do the shape of the details, the pupil or the iris inside there. Then I definitely want to think about, okay, well, how am I going to do the mouth? So I'm going to add some teeth. And then maybe I can see a couple of teeth. Maybe he has a little gap between his teeth. I think that would be kind of neat to leave that showing. Right? So what I'll do next is I'll actually use paint to draw on these details with. So I'm cleaning out a brush nearby, squeezing out the extra water. And a lot of his stuff has a real heavy, thick outline, a lot like Keith Haring. So I'm actually going to use black paint to do that. If you want, you could use a black crayon to trace over this first. You could use a marker, a Sharpie. I'm just going to go ahead and use the paintbrush as my drawing tool. So I'm going along here, just sort of using the tip of the brush to make sure that I really stay on that line. So it looks like my brush is getting thirsty, so I added a little bit more water, which means I need to add more paint. This should be a dark, heavy line, so I don't want to accidentally lighten up the paint by putting in too much water. If you start this and it looks too light, then of course, go back. Yeah, that looks like that one's lighter than his other eye. So I'm going back, putting a second coat of paint on top of that to darken it up. We know if we add more paint, that's going to make something come out darker. If I add more water, of course, that makes it look lighter. Then the detail inside the eye. I want to do that line that shows the top of the square shape. And normally I wouldn't have to do this part by going along the edge of the paper because that is the end of the shape. But since outline is a part of his style, later I want this outline to show all the way around this shape. So I'm going to take the time to do that as well. So along the bottom here, and then up along the side. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys catch up to me before we start again.